Prakashatu ma sadgamaya tamasho ma jyotirgamaya mrityur ma mritangamaya avirāvirmayedhi rudro yate dakshinam mukham te namang pahi nityam te namang pahi nityam Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. O Lord, lead us from the unreal to the real. Lead us from darkness to light. Lead us from death to immortality. And evermore shine in our hearts with your resplendent face. Om peace, peace, peace be unto us all. Yes, today our topic is three states of Chaitanya. Bhagavan Sri Chaitanya was born. His birthday is coming tomorrow or day after tomorrow. This is the full moon night when? Anyhow, so that is Sri Chaitanya's appearance. And Sri Chaitanya used to always live in a divine consciousness like Sri Ramakrishna. In the present age, we can match with the light and the moods and the movements as we find in Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Chaitanya is the pioneering person there, manifesting the divine love in his every movement of life. So, it is the three, but he used to live in the three states of consciousness. Chaitanya, in both ways, his name was Sri Chaitanya, and Chaitanya also means the consciousness. We live in the outer consciousness of the world and see the diversity, see the suffering, see the pain. And as the Swami just now quoted, Hanumanji said, when I am in the body consciousness, so we are separated from the divine, and therefore anything happens to the body, we feel the suffering of the body. Anything happens to the mind, we feel the suffering of the mind. But devotees don't live like that. They live in the outer consciousness as a servant of the Lord. He knows that the whole universe is created by God, and it is His world, and I am also His servant. He is the Lord, He is the Master, I am His servant. When the mind goes into a higher level, Jivo, it is said that quotation is this, Deho buddhya tu dasasmi. Hanumanji said, when I am Deho buddhi, the buddhi, that I am the body, tu dasasmi, I am your servant. You are the Lord, God, Creator. I am your servant, and everything I am doing, I am to please you, to serve you. Jiva buddhya, when I think that I am a jiva, individual soul. Who is individual soul? Who is mind, intellect, ego? In the body, this body lives back when we die. The subtle body goes out of the body. That's the jiva. And jiva transmigrates from one birth to another birth and another birth. When I live my consciousness lifted to a higher level, in jiva consciousness, I am not the body, but I am the spirit. The spirit idea comes, then I think you are the whole cosmos. I am a part of you. I am a spark, you are the bonfire. I am a drop of water in the ocean, you are the ocean. I am a drop. I am not separate. Separate but not separate. This is called, that's why it is a philosophy of separation and non-separation. First is separation. You are Lord God, you are Master. You will live in the high heaven. And you punish us, rules us, controls us, all these ideas come. Deho buddhi. Jiva buddhi, when we think that we are not the body and go to the higher plane in inward journey into the self, we feel that no, I am not separate from you. I am not one with you also. I cannot say I am you, because I have still my mind, still my ego, and all these are functioning. But I am what I am. To understand that, if I go further deep and deep and deeper, then I see that there is I, the little petty I, is dissolved into the infinite consciousness. then I am that, I am thou, thou art me. Deho buddhya tu dasosmi, when I am in the body consciousness, I am your dasa, servant, you are the master. Duality, and I do mistake, I may be punished, I do good, I do bad, all this responsibility comes over us because I am separating myself from you. And then as you move in spiritual journey to inward journey into the heart of our essential divinity inside, God finding here, and move closer and closer and closer, a point comes, I feel I am a drop, I am a spark, I am a part, like the tree and the branches. Tree is tree, but I also tree. In one sense I am tree, but I am a branch. Separation is there. And then when that division also goes away, Jiva Buddhya Tadangsako, Atma Buddhya, when I think I am the Atman, Tameva Aham, I am thou and thou art me and I am thou. That is the Vedantic experience. So the three flights of consciousness is there. Here also, Sri Ramakrishna first talks about Sri Chaitanya. Sri Chaitanya, first of all, you have to know, he is a spiritual teacher who came as, we consider him as incarnation. Incarnation like Christ, Buddhas, Ramas, Krishnas. The impact of Sri Chaitanya all over India was tremendous when he came. And he added to the spirituality the depth, in-depth spirit of spirituality with love and devotion. That's why what you find in Hare Krishna movement, what is in ISKCON, people sing and then they're the followers of Sri Chaitanya. And that impacts the forgetfulness of the body. Real spirituality dawns when one gets singing the Lord's name and forgetting the outer consciousness, goes inner and inner and inner, and sings and dance and chants and congregational music and this. It just takes one up into another realm of existence. That's why people find so much joy when they sing and dance in the name of Krishna, Bhagavan, God. But they call Krishna, and Krishna is the only way. That is the problem with Vedanta. Krishna is not only way, he is one way and another way. So all are Krishna in different forms. But it is only dualistic religion will say, yeah, Krishna is the only and others are wrong. That is the difference between that Vedantic understanding. Anyhow, that is a different issue. The point is that how one in the living day-to-day life can transcend the littleness, pettiness of our life, and how we can transcend. And Sri Chaitanya came as an embodiment of love for God. He was born, and he was a born scholar, and he was so much intelligent person that he was reputed for his scholarly approach, that he will defeat all other competing pandits, scholars. And in those days there is a tradition that one scholar meets another, they will immediately ask you, come to debate. And if you fail, you will have to accept my philosophy totally. And if I fail, I'll go to your philosophy and your living. So those types of, and Sri Chaitanya became such, he was then called Nimai. He was married and he was a householder. His mom was very devoted and father passed away. But after becoming a great scholar in neo-logic, he was the topmost person in neo-logic in Bengal. And all the scholars used to teach in his school. The students from all over India used to come to study. He was a very renowned scholar, and other scholars will be frightened to face him. He has so much intellectual personality. And suddenly, one day, his mind changed. He said, what is this scholarship? What is taking me to? It can bring money, it can bring reputation and social status. But what for that? And suddenly a transformation came, and he then went to renounce the house and everything. He went to He's such a renowned person and respected person in the society, but he wanted to renounce and become a monk. And it was a heartbreaking thing for all the students and those who loved him very dearly, his friends and families. He went to a monk, his Keshav Bharati was the name. We are in the tradition of Shankara's 10 schools of division. We are Puri, and Sri Chaitanya became Bharati because his guru was sannyas was taken by Keshav Bharati. Puri, Giri, Bharati, these are the surnames of different divisions of the monastic traditions set by Shankaracharya. So he went and approached, I don't find any meaning in life. Please give me the sannyas vows. He said, what? You have your home, you have your renowned person, your wife is so beautiful, your mother is so devoted, and you are the only son. You cannot do. Your elder brother became a monk, but you cannot do that again. I will not encourage to give you any sannyas. But no, sir, I am humble person. Please help me. And do you mean that I shall die in this world in ignorance? Like that with his argument he gave, and with politeness and humble humility. Ultimately, Kesava Bharati agreed to give him the sannyas. But he said, you get your permission from your mom. So he begged and cried and wept with the mom and the wife, got permission from everyone, but ultimately he got the sannyas. And then when he sannyas, at that moment, as Ramakrishna got the mantra of the sannyas mantra from Tutapuri, and he instantly hearing that mantra, he went into ecstasy and samadhi. He also entered into that type of state of absolute oneness with the inner reality. And then when he came back, but he started crying and weeping and thinking that that cosmic consciousness has appeared as Krishna. And Krishna I need to meet, because he has come to establish the religion of devotion and bhakti. Mere scholarship he has done enough. He found the dryness of the scholarship. It's dry bones of spirituality. It has no love behind it. All philosophy is a bundle of books. Unless there is some sweetness and love, the conclusion of these scriptures should be experienced in life. And so he was so eager to explore that life of seeing God palpably. But he has come down already from Samadhi down, so naturally he's a different person. He started renouncing, because monks' rule is that monks don't live in the home after taking monastic vows. They become wandering monks. In India, still now, wandering monks. We become monks and we take shelter in this Ramakrishna order in different branches of it, because to serve others and to develop our spirituality. But in that time there is no such institutions. So he went to Puri, Jagannath from Calcutta, from Bengal, Navadvip. And he started crying and weeping. But he has gained such a great follower that so all tried to follow him. And they misguided him. And he was overwhelmed. When he's seeing some forest, he thinks that it is the forest of Vrindavan. He was in the Bengal, moving by the river Ganga, thinking it is river Jamuna. Like that, he's always intoxicated in the consciousness of Krishna, 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 like that. And when he came to Puri Jagannath, one misled again, and he found that he's back to his own home. All his followers are misleading him. He was in ecstatic mood, and they are guiding him, come this way, we'll go to Puri Jagannath. And they brought back to his home. Say mom was very happy and the wife was happy, but he could not be kept there. Then he again left and running for Krishna, 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 Krishna. He ultimately came to Puri Jagannath, and then And as he was going to embrace, because for him Krishna is not a word, it is not an image. In the Jagannath temple, it is called Krishna's another form. So he went to just go and embrace in that ecstatic mood. And the, the priests, they were so angry that you cannot touch the holy murti. That's the tradition of Indian temple. That is restricted for pure people. Anyhow, this guy, half-naked guy, only wearing one cloth under and nothing in the body, and crying and weeping, and just going to embrace Sri Jagannath. And then the priests came to punish him. And that time it happened that the state Pandit, his name was Vasudeva Sarvabhauma, he happened to be visiting the temple that time. He saw, because he's a Pandit, he knows. He saw an extraordinary personality with brilliance and the face beaming with joy and crying and weeping like shedding tears, and is just trying to embrace this deity of the Krishna, Jagannath. And he indicated the priest not to touch him, and then he talked with him. Then he said, "You come to my home." So Vasudeva Sarvabhauma took Chaitanya in his home. And talking to him, he could understand he is a monk. Well, you are a monk, and you have taken initiation from where? Keshav Bharati. Keshav Bharati, you are a monk, why are you weeping? Weeping is a bhakti. It is devotion for the lower category of people. You are sannyasi. You said, "I am Brahman, I am Atman." You will be established in that knowledge. Why are you crying like a baby? What is this? Nonsense. I will teach you. He was so humble that time. The scholar, renowned scholar, has become so devoted that he said, I'll teach you. I'll teach you Brahma Sutra. Brahma Sutra, 3 cardinal books of spirituality in Hinduism is, one is called Upanishad, another is called Bhagavad Gita, another is called the Brahma Sutra. So this is the rational understanding about Vedanta. So he said, I will teach this book, then your emotions will be controlled. You should control your emotion. Well, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. And then he is teaching. The teacher is a great scholar. In the courthouse of the Maharaj Pratap Rudra, the king is a powerful king, Hindu king. In his court house, this Sarvabhauma was the court Pandit scholar. And such a scholar teaching him, and said, first he said, "Acha, I will give a lesson one day." But Sri Chaitanya does not say a single word. He sits there, and as if he is talking to a piece of stone or a block of wood, There's no response. One day he give the lesson, second day he give the lesson, third day give the lesson, but Chaitanya is not responding to anything. He's just like a dull, ignorant child sitting somewhere. They said, "Hey, what is happening? I am teaching you 3 days this Brahma Sutra. You are not saying yes, you are saying no. What is going on?" Then Sri Chaitanya first opened his mouth. Because he is a great scholar. What he is teaching, he can teach much more. He said that, "Sir, I understand what the sutras mean. I understand what Shankara has commented on that commentary, but I don't understand what you are talking." Because he has not realized. He's talking about the Atman, the glory of the Atman, Atman, Satchidananda. I am talking. Talking does not mean anything. Do you experience anything? Talking about ice cream is no good. Have you tasted any time ice cream? Then ice cream will make sense in your tongue now. Is it not? Ice cream is not making any sense in your tongue now. I have just used the word ice cream. See, how are you feeling? So you have tasted it. But the Pandit, you are talking big things. Have you experienced anything? That is the indirect way he was given. And he said, "What?" And instantly he saw Sri Chaitanya standing He is Rama, he is Krishna in the one body appearance. 6 arms, 2 for Sri Chaitanya, his face, and another Rama with a bow and arrow and flute of Krishna. This mystic vision instantly transformed this scholar Sarvabhauma. He fell at the feet of Sri Chaitanya. Oh, Baba, you are God yourself. You have come down to teach love and devotion, humility. Scholarship is useless. Go, you learn, you be a scholar to understand your truth, pros and cons. But you have to understand, you have to realize without the practice of devotion, you cannot do that. So, rest of the thing was a total turnover, and this Pandit was so happy to see, realize God himself in his home, and is absorbed in God intoxication and crying and weeping in the name of God, feeling an entire environment is uplifted like that, and went on and went on. That is the overall life, and then he preached this simple Lord's name, repeat the Lord's name, that's all. Day and night repeat the Lord's name, and everything will be clean and you will be pure, and the inner love and devotion and intoxication will happen automatically, spontaneously. You will enjoy the bliss of God, presence of God. God is love. How do you understand it? You practice, 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 and repeat only name, 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 name. That's why you see the Vaishnava tradition, in Catholic tradition also, rosary and repeating the Lord's name is so much important. In Hinduism also it is so much given. So repeat the name of Lord, repeat the name of Lord day and night. Chant, and we have already chanted together. Chant the name of the Lord. It is Sri Chaitanya's own words, translated. Chant the name of the Lord and His glories incessantly, so that the mirror of the heart may be wiped clean and quench that mighty forest fire. Worldly lust, it will all go away. See, this is the cream of the Sri Chaitanya's teaching, which you chant every lecture time. Chant the name of the Lord and His glory unceasingly. So this is the overall, just to give a background of Sri Chaitanya who we are talking about, whose birthday is coming day after tomorrow or tomorrow, on the Purnima, full moon night. Sri Ramakrishna used to talk about Sri Chaitanya in a high ecstatic level. He used to say that first of all, to understand a little bit, we go to Sri Ramakrishna. He says, before understanding Sri Chaitanya's state of consciousness, our topic is 3 states of consciousness. 3 states. One is called this state in which I see you. Another state, absorption in the name of God. You are aware of the outside world, more you are getting absorbed in your inner world. And then dive deep into such a level, you forget the outer world and everything drops. You are one in the inside. The 3 states, it's called Vajradasa, the state of awakening in the outer consciousness. Ardhavajya, half internal and half external. Mind has absorbed, withdrawn, 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 and singing, chanting the name of God. It is getting so much absorbed inside that you are forgetting the outside, outside, outside. And then in total absorption, antardasha. Antar means inmost state of absorption. Sri Chaitanya is to live in these 3 states constantly. But that is the difference. We also live in that same 3 state. Now we are in the external consciousness, is it not? When you go to sleep, you go to dream. Or you are half sleep, you are going from a waking state to dreaming state, or a sleep state, and half aware. Something somebody is telling, but you are just going to sleep. And when you are deep sleep, then you are totally unaware of the outside. But is there any difference between this Chaitanya's 3 state and our 3 state? Sri Chaitanya is coming down from the experience. He is seeing Krishna is everywhere. In the outer, with the eyes open, he is seeing Krishna. But Krishna, absorption in the love of Krishna is so intensifying, that is withdrawing from the outside, and that outward experience is going into the inner experience. An inner experience diving into the state of total absorption, samadhi. That state beyond is there another state which cannot be talked about. So Sri Ramakrishna talks about, but how does it come? We'll talk about that. It is said that one cannot reach that state of samadhi as Sri Chaitanya used to live. He says nishtha. Nishtha means one-pointedness, repeating the Lord's name one-pointedly. One-pointedly means you repeat God's name whom you love. Love one aspect of the divine, say Rama, say Krishna, say Jesus, say Buddha, whatever, choose your object and become one-pointed, nishtha. Hold on again and again. That time don't digress your mind. Today I think of this aspect, tomorrow I think of other aspect, to third day then your focus will not go to the one-pointed love. So first point is that nishtha. Ramakrishna said, nishtha, one-pointed love, leads to bhakti. Then you gradually, thinking of one thing day by day, its glory, your mind becomes attached to that. That's the love comes for. Second, bhakti matures. When that love matures, love for God matures, then it gets a mood. It's called a bhava. Ramakrishna said, becomes bhava. And bhava, when that mood becomes deeply concentrated, then it becomes concentrated, it becomes mahabhava. These are the language of devotional school of spiritual tradition. Deep bhava, deep mood, deep mood. That means you get so much absorbed, and go. Sufi mystics you'll find, when they sing and dance in the name of same tradition of Sankara as Sri Chaitanya's tradition. Sufi mystics you'll find Allah, 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 and then get sing and dance and absorb, go more inner. A state comes, everything stops, and he goes into Mahabhava. Means ordinary people cannot go to that state. That's a different thing. But sadhana is that our spiritual practice is that repeat the name of Lord in one aspect of that, whatever form you like, whatever quality, all representing God. God is Satchidananda. And then think of Him and get absorbed in His love. Love is the point. Love unites. We are attached to the world because our love for the world is important. I love my cat. This cat is dear to me. And I can make cat as my object of worship. You love cat more than anyone. That is your love is growing. How? Thinking of cat and taking care of the cat, feeling his emotions, feeling his presence. So you are feeling more. So similarly, think of God. And Sri Ramakrishna said that love God, bhakti. What we, in our present mental condition, we love many things. Start loving God. That's the bhakti, first step. Go on. Bhakti will mature into absorption. See, people will find, those who repeat the Lord's name, they get really absorbed inside and they feel so much joy. They feel they don't have the taste, don't want to come out. Yesterday one lady was calling and she was saying that she does not want to talk to anybody. She does not want to do anything. She is feeling so much joy inside, so much absorption. See, bhava will be coming later on, but bhakti, start with bhakti, devotion, attachment. Bhakti brings attachment to God, and that attachment, deeper attachment, brings absorption, and deeper absorption becomes total loss into the truth. So Sri Ramakrishna said, nishtha leads to bhakti. Bhakti, when mature, becomes bhava. Bhava is the absorption. Bhava, when concentrated, becomes mahabhava. And last of all is prema. Prema means you see nothing but that reality. All, you are gone. You are totally lost. You see the divine everywhere. There are nothing but that. So prema will happen. But prema is like a cord. If you get that prema, then it is like a cord. Cord means rope to tie God. God follows you. You love Krishna as your child or Krishna as your friend. Krishna will be all the time roaming around you because you have tied him into that. Say Ma Jasoda. Krishna is a child. Ma is pestering. Ma is saying, hey, you did this, you did this wrong thing, right thing. So God will be following you. You need not have to follow God. First we started with following God. And then in love, the distance merges. You get absorbed in the Lord. And then when you get absorbed and overwhelmingly absorbed, then when last is come, He becomes your follower. We start following Him, ultimately it transforms into He following us. That's all the great saints' life proves. But this is not achievable by ordinary people. That's why Ramakrishna said, an ordinary man can at best achieve bhava. People like us, we can at best we can go to absorption. Love, our love for God is divided. We love many things in the world, and I also love God. God has one share of my love, but I have say 100 divisions of my love, 100 direction. I give one part of that, little part of that. I share. I love you this much. But the rest of the day, I love this, I love that, I love that, I love that. And I work for this, I work for that, I also work for you. 5 minutes doing japa. We are doing that. That is a part we are giving, and you have 95% of other things are also my love is scattered. Now, this 1% love increases for God, and this side lessens. When it merges, more love for God comes, more joy comes inside, and joy pulls you more and more and more. Then you become absorbed. And that absorption is the end for ordinary people like us. If we get a little absorption, bas, you are absorbed in it, that is enough for ordinary sadhakas. But Ramakrishna says, an ordinary man can at best achieve bhava, none but. And Ishvara Koti attains Mahabhava and Prema. Chaitanya Deva attained them in his life. So we can go up to Bhava, that is the highest state. But there is Mahabhava. In Mahabhava, they sing and dance, and their entire life is the whole body. Yes, Sri Ramakrishna, when he is in ecstatic dance, they're totally oblivious of anything. He is not here. But the entire world, entire atmosphere is surcharged with spirituality. That is the Mahabhava. The great incarnations can do that. And Ramakrishna continued in the Gospel, he was an incarnation of God, this Chaitanya Deva. There is a great difference between him and an ordinary man. The fire of Chaitanya's renunciation is so great that when Vasudeva Sarvabhauma poured sugar on his tongue, instead of melting, it evaporated into air. Could you get the meaning of it? Even if we say sugar, see, our tongue is becoming moist. Is it not? Because it has a taste, we have a taste. He's so absorbed in God consciousness, and outer consciousness gone, his identity with the body is totally lifted from that. So, Vasudeva Sarvabhauma, who saw the court Pandit, I referred just now, he put some sugar on his tongue at that samadhi point. It was like you are putting in a dry leaf. It is with the question of moistening, it remains separated, and that's why he said, evaporated into air. He was always absorbed in samadhi. How great was his conquest of lust. So No question of connection with the world, no question of any attraction for the world, but inner joy, one cannot live without joy. We are all slaves, we are running after joy, thinking this will make me happy, this will give me joy. But that petty joy we get, and we get like the mouse story. The mouse goes to the what is called the storehouse of rice stack, and the businessmen, they used to throw away some rice outside so that the rats come and get a few and go away. Actually, that is the thing. They do not know that mine of joy is their rice stack, is there, where generation after generation cannot finish that joy. So that joy is here, but we are scattered with the outside joy. That's why Sri Ramakrishna said he has conquered all these attractions. He cannot do that until we get something inside. So Sri Ramakrishna said that Sri Chaitanya attained to the Mahabhava, great mood, spiritual mood. Ramakrishna used to feel that when he used to go to deep samadhi. And doctors could not find any stethoscope with a heartbeat, neither any, even one doctor poked his finger in the eyes. Eyelid didn't. It's a dead body. Detachment from the body, total absorption in the inside. That is only called Mahabhava. So Sri Chaitanya is to have that. So let me read about Sri Ramakrishna talking about something more. He says that the master M is writing, the master, Arthat Sri Ramakrishna, passed alternately through these three modes of divine consciousness. The inmost, when he completely lost all knowledge of the outer world, that's the first state. Second state of consciousness, the semi-conscious, when he danced with the devotees in an ecstatic love, and the consciousness when he joined them in loud singing. So he is aware, but he is not aware of anything else. He is singing and dancing, but is all absorbed in the thought of the God, of Lord. It was indeed a sight for the gods to see that the Sri Ramakrishna standing motionless in Samadhi. And the third state, he goes into Samadhi. First state, he can talk to people, see people, interact, give advice. Second state, he's going in a higher level. He is so getting absorbed that he only starts singing and dancing, the impulse of love for God. And then in third state, everything stops. He's like a dead body. So it was indeed a sight of the gods to see the master standing motionless in Samadhi, with fragrant garlands hanging from his neck, his countenance beaming with love, and the devotees singing and dancing around him. So this is, he is comparing. It is a view of the M, who wrote the Gospel of Ramakrishna. His experience about Ramakrishna. The master said, you talk about prema, but is it such a commonplace thing? There are two characteristics of prema. First, it makes one forget the world. World will have no existence. His own body have no existence. In his consciousness, in his own consciousness, the world and the body are all forgotten. It makes one forget the world. These are the two characteristics. First will be, it makes one forget the world. So intense is one's love of God that one becomes unconscious of the outer things. That's why you find that in meditation also it happens. Those who are deep meditators, they are meditating. If the snake crawls on his body, he will not be able to understand. Similarly, this bhakti, in this bhakti school, you're getting absorbed in God's name, it will happen like that. The mind is withdrawn from the body into the deeper sense of reality. God, that one becomes unconscious of the outer thing. Chaitanya had this ecstatic love. He took Second, one has no feeling of myness. Me and mine, both are gone. This is Vedanta. Vedanta Shankaracharya says, Ahamidam, Mamaidam, iti naisargiko and loko vyavaharo. The human behavior pattern centers around two things, me and mine. I interact with everyone, I am here, I interact with someone. It is mine, my thing, my object, my friend, my enemy, we interact there. So here he says, one has no feeling of me and mineness towards a body, which is so dear to a person. One wholly gets rid of the feeling that body is the soul. Chaitanya, Chaitanya Dev is Chaitanya, consciousness, is awakened after Advaita Jnana, the knowledge of the non-dual Brahman. It is Ramakrishna saying. Chaitanya means the consciousness is awakened in us. We are conscious, but this consciousness is not consciousness. We are conscious of the outward world, which is every moment changing. But to be conscious of what is inside us, that is the real consciousness. So to awaken that consciousness, it arises after Advaita, by the Advaita Jnana, the knowledge of the non-dual Brahman. That means we have to understand this world of appearance is not our goal, but we want to know the source of this world, where it comes from. It comes from God. And to love, what is God? The absolute non-dual is the God, ultimate. And he can be Saguna Brahma, like Rama, Krishna, Buddha, Christ as the human avatar, or Shiva, Durga, Kali, that may be that. Whatever may be the point, here I am concentrating on Krishna because we are related to the one-pointed talk about Sri Chaitanya. So Chaitanya, the consciousness, Ramakrishna says, is awakened after Advaita Jnana. See, understand, it's a very serious thing. We think that bhakti is very easy. But bhakti, real bhakti, our bhakti is only, it is called the preliminary bhakti. We go to temple with some flowers, offer it, and the pujari, the worshipper offered it to deity and gave me one flower back. I took it in my head and come back. Where is the touch of heart? It is an outward show of devotion. We should start there. But devotion is there. One perceives that God alone exists in all being as consciousness. That is called the Chaitanya. When we can see that one consciousness permeates everywhere, that is the awakening into consciousness. And that does not come without Advaita understanding. Ramakrishna said, Chaitanya, consciousness, is awakened after Advaita Jnana, the knowledge of the non-dual Brahman. Then one perceives that God alone exists in all beings as consciousness. After this realization comes Ananda. And Bhakti school emphasizes on Ananda aspect. But it will not come unless you have a background of devotion, then knowledge, as I have said at the very beginning. But he said that it will be first to bhakti, love will generate into inner consciousness, awareness, prema will generate like that. So stasis, bhava will come. So one perceives God alone exists in all beings as consciousness. After this realization comes Ananda, and that is called the bliss. So that's why in Advaita, Chaitanya, Nityananda, there are the three figures in Sri Chaitanya's movement, but that has also spiritual significance. Advaitic knowledge is first needed to love God one-pointedly. Why shall I love God? As I said, we have hundreds of objects to love. God may be one segment of it. But when I know this world is all appearance, God is the only reality, then love for God will go. And that is based on the non-dual knowledge. So non-dual knowledge, bhakti, all leads to real bhakti. So this is the science, and Sri Chaitanya stand for that, this experience. Sri Ramakrishna says that it is the Sri Chaitanya. Let me read that part. But Sri Ramakrishna more explicit. He said, Sri Chaitanya experienced three states of mind. First, the conscious state, when like us, he is talking, eating, sleeping, and interacting. First, the conscious state, when his mind dwells on the gross and the subtle. This gross world, he is still holding your mind in the duality. Second, semi-conscious state, when his mind entered into causal body and absorbed in the bliss of divine intoxication. You know, Vedanta is coming here. So, first is the conscious state, when we are awakened state. And second state is semi-conscious state. He is not going to sleep, but he is fully aware. But his absorption is withdrawn from the outside to inside. Semi-conscious, little conscious of the outside, more conscious of the inside. And this journey, as it goes on, in that mood transaction, he can sing and dance and get absorbed in dancing and singing. So divine, and when his mind entered the causal body, then it was absorbed in the bliss of the divine intoxication. Is now totally, given the example, if bees are fluttering, no, and making noise before sitting onto the flower. When it sits into the flower, still fluttering of the wings go on. But as soon as he starts sucking the honey, you see he has become calm. That is the same state is Sri Chaitanya going through, and every spiritual sadhak should enter into that. That's why Sri Ramakrishna said, third state will be the inmost state, when his mind was merged in the great cause. We can, this agrees. That's also how Sri Ramakrishna is speaking about Sri Chaitanya's experience. He continues, Ramakrishna says, this agrees very well with the five koshas. You know the Vedantic analysis of Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya. Annamaya is this body. Pranamaya, the energy. We say, oh, I am feeling lack in energy. I am being tired. That's energy body, no? The prana, Sanskrit we call prana. So deho and prana, these two. Then comes the agrees in the five, manomaya, mind, intellect, ego. Manomaya, vijnanamaya, intellect. Ego body, anandamaya. So we know these five states of our being. We all know this. Every day we do. Now we are in the waking state. All these five are working. Annamaya, pranamaya, manomaya, vijnanamaya, anandamaya. That means now you go to sleep. What happens? You disidentify with the body. But your prana remains, pranamaya kosha. Your mind remains because you see something in the mental, your mental world creates your dream world, manomaya. And also there also you have buddhi. Someone is attacking you, run away. Someone is doing something, you can protest. So you have your buddhi is working there, and your ego of course is there. So that's the dream body. Third will be the sleep body. In the sleep time, your body consciousness gone, your mind is sleeping, your intellect is sleeping, your ego is almost sleeping. There is a veil, it's called the veil of Ananda. That's why everyone goes to deep sleep so happy. Good sleep makes everyone happy. Because behind that is the Ananda, infinite Ananda. And there is a blockage is there. That's the ego blockage. So that is the Karana Sarir. And if you cross that, that is called the Mahakarana, meaning Vedantic experience of non-dual experience. So Sri Ramakrishna manages to teach us that this agrees very well with the five koshas, or sheets, described in the Vedanta. The gross body corresponds to the Annamaya kosha. Anna Maya Kosha and the Pranamaya Kosha. The subtle body to the Manomaya Kosha and the Vijnanamaya Kosha. The causal body to the Anandamaya Kosha. The Mahakarana, the great cause, is beyond the five sheets. When Chaitanya's mind merged in that, he would go into Samadhi. This is called the Nirvikalpa or Jara Samadhi. It's a very great description. It needs contemplation. But how bhakti and jnana, we make much distinction who are fools. It is we are reading through the lens of Sri Ramakrishna, who is to live in that consciousness, in this three states of consciousness. He is saying it is the same experience will come. One path is the path of not this, not this. One path is also it is God. And to turn towards both renounce. Bhakta will have to renounce the world for God. You cannot keep both sides together. And Jnani will also have to see this is unreal, this is unreal. Satchidananda is the reality. But practice is different. So the whole consciousness, Ramakrishna continues, the whole consciousness of the outer world, while conscious of the outer world, Chaitanya could sing and name of God. While in the state of partial consciousness, he could dance with the devotees. And while in the inmost state of consciousness, he remained absorbed in Samadhi. As Ramakrishna used to go to Samadhi. Because we saw Ramakrishna's description, we can understand Sri Chaitanya's description. So these are the big subject. We can continue to think about these things again and again. But the purpose of life is God realization, and that God realization is not mere intellectualism, and neither it is emotional devotion, only weeping and crying and singing and dancing. Not getting into dancing is for what? Getting absorption. You dance in joy. Not dance can be done in many ways. There are so many dancers in the world. But a bhakta dancing in the name of God has a different, he's getting absorbed more inside. It should be pulling our heart and mind and soul into the inner realm of our divine entity. So this is the way, and these three states. One conscious state, we should see God everywhere. It is all Krishna sitting here, all Christ sitting over here in the heart of all, bringing that. When you are half conscious, going more, chant the name of the Lord, chant the name of the Lord, chant the name of the Lord, chant the name of Krishna, chant the name of Christ, chant the name of whatever you do. Feel that He is present with me, and going deeper and deeper and deeper, then you come to the Ardha Vajya Dasa, half state of awakening. It is, we will not see anything, but it is a practice. And then go deeper and deeper, forget the world, and you and the Lord. And then there, go on and on and on, till you reach the identity, and then come back, the whole world will be full of bliss and joy. So this is Sri Chaitanya's three states of existence, Ramakrishna's existence, verified in this life again, these states of Sri Chaitanya. So we have to do our own practices. That's all. Thank you. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.